Today we're in East Orlando. We're around the Waterford Lakes area, UCF area, Avalon Park, Lake Pickett area. And today you're gonna come with me to experience some luxury, some amazing finishes, beautifully upgraded home, and it's truly one of a kind. When I was running the comps over here, I didn't really see anything kind of like this home. Let's take a look together. The house that we're about to see is 1245 square feet. It's a 3-2 with very low HOA and no CDD. I want you to try to guess the price in the comments, and of course I'll go over the numbers at the end, but come with me on this tour. Look at this beautiful, luxurious home with amazing finishes. If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Jodeni Ogando. I'm a Central Florida realtor, and I'm also a mortgage broker. This channel explores all things real estate throughout Central Florida as well as Florida as a whole. Today we're in Orange County, Florida. We're in Orlando, specifically East Orlando, the Waterford Lakes area, Avalon Park area, and we're checking out this resale home that's been beautifully renovated from top to bottom, as you can see when you walk through the front of the door, as well as the finishes that they chose for the inside. When you get a look at those bathrooms, you're gonna be in awe. This home is amazing. So if you like this type of content, watching home tours, we have new construction and we have resale homes, consider subscribing to this channel. Drop a like on this video and drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Also, drop a comment and let me know what areas you would like me to visit so that could be part of my future videos as well, so I can kind of cater to the crowd. All right, let's check this out. So the front of this house faces north, but with the way that the door is angled, you're kind of facing northeast when I pulled out the compass. This would be your entrance here. So you're gonna be greeted right away to the right with this beautiful kitchen, and then you're gonna have this open floor plan layout where you're gonna have like the living room and the dining room kind of like all in one. It's a pretty nice space. And as you can see, the seller or developer chose amazing finishes throughout this property. You don't have anything cookie cutter in this home. Every piece of this home, as I walked it, was beautifully done. Although you do have your 3 bedrooms in this property, just under 1,300 square feet total, you also have a bonus room or a flex room right over here, and they have these modern barn doors installed as well. This could be your little home office, little theater room. This could be anything. In fact, this could probably be a dining room if you wanted to make it a closed off dining room or something. What would you make that room of? And then right off the kitchen, this is where I have the washer and dryer. The placement is pretty awesome. You have the refrigerator right here as well. And I don't think I've ever seen a refrigerator this luxurious before. Man, I'm scared to get fingerprints on it. When you walk down and you make a left, this is where you're gonna find 2 of the bedrooms, as well as a full bathroom over here, which is awesome because they're separated from where the primary is at. So you have some privacy there as well on that other side. So upon coming through these double doors, you have your grand entrance to your primary bedroom with luxurious finishes as well as an amazing bathroom in there. Right now where we're located in the East Orlando area, we're about 30 minutes or less from the Orlando International Airport, about 45 minutes or so to Disney, 30 minutes or less to Universal. So you have all the attractions less than 1 hour away. Tampa is about an hour and a half away. Ocala is about an hour and a half away as well. If you've been looking for a home on your own, you know, the tricky part is when you're typing in properties for search in Orlando or Tampa or Ocala or anything like that, the first few searches are gonna be sponsored ads. And a lot of times you're not gonna have the most experienced person there. You're probably just gonna have the person with the most marketing dollars at that moment pushing those ads in front of you. With me having 4 to 5 years of experience, or close to 5+ years now of experience, it makes a difference who you work with. If you were to tell me what you were looking for in just minutes, I can have a list put together, you know, with your preferences and everything. And I even have access to off-market properties that builders haven't even released yet to the public, or that the builders have coming back on market and they haven't had the time yet to put it back in the system. So who you work with actually does make a difference. For those of you that are new to the home buying experience, I wanted to give you a quick overview of what the process is like to buy a home. So one of the first steps is consulting with a real estate professional such as myself, so we can get a list of your wants and needs and kind of create like a balance of like what the goal is and figure out if there's properties in your price range in the area that you're looking at. Me being a mortgage broker as well, if you need help with financing, I can help you with that as well. After we have the criteria down pat and the numbers, you know, put together, it's time to look for a property. So I'll help you look for a property, me or my team, throughout Central Florida or throughout Florida. We can do virtual tours, videos, meet in person, meet with your family member, however you want to set it up. Once we've identified the property that you're interested in, it's time to negotiate and put an offer together. We want to talk about terms such as initial deposits, price point, inspection periods, contingency periods, closing dates. There's so many things to negotiate in a contract that will make your offer stand out than another one that has the exact same price. And we've done this for a while. There's escalation clauses. There's different addendums that we could put in place to make our offer more attractive. After the offer is negotiated and the offer is accepted, we fall into the inspection period. And then within those 7 days, we got to get the property inspected to make sure the condition of the property is good. Then after that, we get the appraisal done. The title work is being done in the background to make sure the title is clear. And then we get clear to close. We do a final walkthrough. The whole buying process takes about 3 to 6 weeks, depending on if the home is like ready to move in and it's ready for, you know, the title's good and everything and your financing gets cleared. You can be in it as low as 3 weeks. I've seen some closings recently. Also, when you're buying a resale home or even with a new construction home, you want to know what like the life expectancy is of some of the big items throughout the house, especially with resale homes. So when you're getting your home inspection, one of the things is they're going to do is a 4-point inspection. They're going to check out the roof, the plumbing, electrical, and the HVAC. And I wanted to go over some of the life expectancy numbers. And of course, this is depending on how you maintain these items or whatever. But if a roof can last anywhere from 12 to 50 years, depending on if it's like asphalt shingle or like a metal roof. They have clay tile roofs. They have different types of roof. So 12 to 15 years. If you go inexpensive and you just go straight shingle, those are 12 to 15 years. Even if you clean them, maintain them, after 12 to 15 years, they have to be replaced. So one of the goals is when you're buying a home, if that roof has less than 3 years left, that's gonna be a pretty big expense that you're gonna have to come up with in the next 3 years. So I would I would think about it twice before buying that property, unless if it really checked off all your boxes and you're ready to invest another 15 to 20 or $30,000, depending on how much that roof costs. As far as heating and cooling, ACs maybe 10 to 15 years. I've seen some ACs in some houses 20, 30 years because they were maintained very well, but the insurance companies are gonna be a little bit more strict on the age of the bigger units. Plumbing, you have anywhere from 5 to 25 years, depending on the plumbing. The water heater itself, 5 to 15 years. The water heater could be 20 years old, it could still be working. For insurance purposes, they just wanna make sure that you don't move in and then you're gonna have an issue with like your water heater. And then as far as appliances go, dishwashers are 5 to 12 years, the dryer is 10 to 25, garbage disposal 5 to 12, oven 15 to 20, washing machines 5 to 15 years. And if you want a full breakdown of more items of the life expectancy, just send me a message and I'll get that over to you. I'll get the list over to you. That's pretty much the average life expectancy for some of those big items. The taxes on this property have it at $48.28 per year, and the association on this property is $58 a quarter. But what happens when you're buying a property, the taxes get reassessed a year later. A good rule of thumb to figure out what the taxes are gonna be is to always consult with the tax collector when you're buying a home. And during your due diligence period, or even before you put the offer, you're free to call the tax collector and give them the address or the tax ID, and they'll be able to give you like an estimate of what the taxes could be, because they will be reassessed after you buy the property. When you're buying a home, something to put into consideration as far as money goes is you have to factor in down payment and closing costs. So depending on what loan you're going with, let's just say with a traditional FHA mortgage, 3.5% down, closing costs can vary between 3 to like 5%. So let's say we're at 7.5%. And I'll go over what the price of this house is in a minute, but you basically take the sales price and then you multiply it by, let's say, 7.5%. Now, what happens is the bank's gonna want 2 months of bank statements to make sure the money was already in your account, or they wanna source the money. You can't just have cash under the mattress and use that for your home purchase, unfortunately. You can get gift funds from family or take from your 401k. There's different scenarios in which you can get the money, but one of the most important ways or easiest way is also down payment assistance. So me being a mortgage broker as well, one of my jobs is to find you money if you don't have it. So in July, we have this program in Florida called Hometown Heroes that's coming back. They'll loan you up to 5% of the purchase price with a max of $35,000. So on a beautiful home like this, if you're short a little bit of the money or you just don't want to use all of your money, we could possibly tap into those programs if you qualify. Last I checked, I had access to 10 to 11 different down payment programs. Hometown Heroes is currently gonna be the best one based on like all the other ones as well, and it's limited. They have about $100 million to loan starting on July 1st. So depending on when you're watching this video, contact me about that right away to see if there's any money left in that program so we can help you with it. But in front of me, I have an ALTA, which is a settlement statement, which pretty much breaks down what some of the closing costs are when you're buying a home. Because I've seen it time and time again over the 5 years when the buyer gets to closing and they see that and then they just like, what are all these numbers? So something that I've done to help educate my buyers is show them up front what to expect. That's why I want to do that for you in this video as well. So this document, which is 6 pages long, it's going to be different for everyone as far as what numbers there are, because these things get prorated to the day of closing as far as taxes and insurance go. But I'm just going to go over some of the categories that are here and what to expect. So the first thing you're going to see on the document is going to be the financials. So on the financials, you're going to see the purchase price, any deposits, any seller concessions, and most importantly, the loan amount if you are getting financing. If you're doing cash, you're not going to see the loan amount on there. Prorations and adjustments. The taxes are going to be prorated. The seller pays a bit, the buyer pays a bit, and it's done through credits and debits on this settlement statement. Any HOA fees are going to be prorated as well. Most of the time, the HOA for the rest of the year is collected up front. and then they'll tell you that be on the lookout for something in the mail to pay the HOA going forward. Then you're gonna have loan charges. So there's gonna be origination charges, appraisal fees, credit report fees, different fees there that have to do with the financing. Under that, we're gonna have the impounds. Now, as far as property taxes and homeowners insurance, something that confuses a lot of first-time home buyers is, if I just paid my property taxes up front in full, how come I'm being billed for it monthly as well? When you're mortgaged, it's PITI, principal and interest, taxes and insurance. They're gonna start collecting the taxes and insurance for the next year. So even though you prepaid it up front, you're gonna start the process of, they're gonna help you start the process of escrowing that money with the mortgage to help pay for it next year. Now this is where it gets real scary. A lot of people, when the taxes aren't calculated correctly by the mortgage lender, when they use the smaller tax number of the previous year or something, that could really stir things up a year later once they get reassessed. So the lender that you choose makes a difference, whether they're gonna educate you or not, also the realtor, on what's gonna happen that next year. And that's where you see all those horror stories about people's taxes going way up. Well, all that happened was they got adjusted to the current taxes in the area because some of those homes weren't sold for a long time, or they were just new construction, which the previous taxes was just on dirt. I've seen that time and time again, to a point where the person couldn't even pay their mortgage a year later, and now they're selling their home. So don't fall victim to that. Always ask questions. And then after the impounds, you're gonna have title charges and settlement charges. Lien search, doc stamps, title fees. There's gonna be surveys done on the property as well to tell you where your property lines are. And that, you're gonna have commissions. Depending on when you're watching this video, there's a big situation right now with commissions on how they were being paid before and how they're gonna be paid going forward after August 17th, 2024. But if you want more information on that and how we're handling that and navigating those waters, reach out to me directly and I'll help you with that. Government recording and transfer charges, then there's any payoff. So if there's a mortgage payoff on the property, that's gonna be on this sheet as well. And then miscellaneous. So any transaction fees or anything extra on there would fall under miscellaneous. So I want to see what the guesses were after I watched the video, but this property was priced at $450,000. It now has a price reduction down to $424,000. That's $26,000 off. So on a property like this, if you were doing like a lower down payment option, you'd be in the low $30,000s of dollars. So this $31,000 to $35,000 bill, part of that can actually be covered with the Hometown Heroes program. So to be exact, you could probably get around $21,000 towards your down payment and closing costs with that program. Let me know if you guessed correctly or not. If you stuck around to the end, thank you for watching. Drop a like on this video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from and where you would like to see future videos. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.